Okay, just testing something out here. Don't know if I am live. Let's see if I am live. Can't seem to see anything. Oh, I am live. Okay. Apologies. Okay, I am live. Apologies, guys. I'm testing out a new streaming service, so bear with me. I'm just going to share my screen and we'll go ahead. So basically, we were on a mastermind tonight, the Empower Mastermind, and we all challenged each other to do a 7-day Facebook Live, and I've chosen my topic to be medicinal mushrooms. So I am going to share with you today a little bit on the medicinal mushroom known as lion's mane, also known as Hericium erinaceus. So I'm just going to share my screen and we'll go ahead with it. Apologies for the newbie antics here. This is very new to me. I'm using some cool streaming software so I can go live on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So I'm currently live on YouTube also. So one moment, I'm just going to bring up this presentation. Okay, now you should all see this, hopefully. So this is the beginning of a 7-day live series on medicinal mushrooms. Now, there are quite a few medicinal mushrooms on the planet. The ones that are more well known, there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. About 18 well-known medicinal mushrooms. I've chosen to do this on 7 medicinal mushrooms in particular, just for the purpose of the 7-day challenge and to get used to streaming like this. So the first one that we're going to dive into is lion's mane. Lion's mane is also known as, I'm just getting the scientific name. I'll just go to the next slide. It's also known as Hericium erinaceus. So, it's got a bunch of different names, and every mushroom has a scientific name. Our hedgehog fungus, beard mushroom, because it looks like a beard. It also looks like a lion's mane. That's why it's called lion's mane mushroom also. Bear's head mushroom, pom-pom, yambushitaki. Now, for those of you who like that word, it comes from the Japanese word yambushi, I think. Let me just double check that. I took notes earlier. Yambushi, I believe. Yeah, so yambushi is a Japanese word for, one moment, I have this in my notes somewhere. Aha. So yambushi is a Japanese mountain ascetic hermits. According to a traditional Japanese mysticism, yambushi are believed to be endowed with supernatural powers. They follow the Shugendo doctrine. I might have said that really wrong, but anyway. An integration of mainly esoteric Buddhism of the Shingon sect with Tendai Buddhism, Taoism, and elements of Shinto. So pretty cool origins of the word yambushi. They've called this Yambu Shiitake. Maybe they're hinting at the fact that this mushroom has supernatural powers. And then we've got the other common name from China, which is Hu Tu Gu, which if you translated, Hu is monkey, Tu is head or brain, and Gu is mushroom. So monkey head mushroom. Now, who knows if the Chinese knew, but this mushroom happens to be quite good for your brain, quite good for your head. And so there is a possibility that maybe they were wise enough to know that, or they just thought it looked like a monkey's head. Either way, it's a very special mushroom, so let's dive into it a little bit more. So, the lion's mane mushroom is a valuable mushroom and highly regarded in traditional Chinese medicine to improve overall strength and as a food for indigestion and constipation. So if you're constipated out there, if you're having trouble getting it out, get yourself some lion's mane mushroom, but to be honest with you, any mushroom will really help with that type of stuff because they're all high in fiber. And now, the ancient wisdom behind the Chinese and Japanese empires is quite evident because they have this, what is known as alternative medicine, but really it was an ancient medicine that's been used for thousands of years. So lion's mane has been used in China and Japan for centuries, and it's only really starting to pick up in the West these days because of the great work of Paul Stamets, who's been really a great luminary in the mushroom space, getting the info out there. So here you've got the nutrients in lion's mane mushroom. The first one would be the polysaccharides. Polysaccharides are basically carbohydrates and sugars, great for the gut. They allow our gut flora to really flourish, basically, in a nutshell. So they're basically cellulose, glycogen, starch, whose molecules consist of a number of sugar molecules bonded together, but they're healthy sugars, great for the gut. Then you've got ergosterol. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. However, many of the fungi and protozoa can't survive without ergosterol, or ergosterol, however I say it. The enzymes basically synthesize it become important targets for drug discovery. So it's used in drug discovery. And in human nutrition, ergosterol is a provitamin form of vitamin D2. So an exposure to sunlight, i.e. ultraviolet light, causes a chemical reaction that produces vitamin D2. A lot of mushrooms do this. If you leave them out in the sun, they'll produce their own D2, much like we do, because they're much more closely related to animals than they are plants. But we'll get into that later down the line. But basically, mushrooms can act as a great replacement for meat, much higher in fiber and vital minerals and vitamins than meat is. So if you're going to go plant-based, make sure it's plant and fungi-based for your own safety. Then we have the erinaceus. These are very interesting neuronal cell health. So this mushroom in particular is well known for its nerve benefits, its brain benefits. So because it contains these things called erinaceus, it's able to promote the NGF synthesis, which basically is protecting against cell death. Okay, so as we age, we experience something as known as oxidative stress, and our cells die. When we eat things like mushrooms that are highly regenerative forces, they regenerate our cells basically and protect us against that age-related damage. So that's another benefit. Then we've got the adenosines. In this particular instance, it's adenosine hericium. But adenosine is a type of neurotransmitter, and it's involved in energy metabolism and expenditure. And you produce more throughout the day as your body does physical work and your brain carries out numerous cognitive functions. So this is already within our bodies, right? We already promote and have this innate inside of our bodies, right? But you produce more as your body does physical work. And right now, we're not really doing the physical work as much because we're all indoors in the lockdown. I hope you're doing your exercise at home. However, by consuming things like lion's mane, you're boosting that adenosine neurotransmitter that's involved in that energy metabolism and expenditure. So essentially, you're just improving your energy levels by consuming these amazing organisms. Then we've got I don't know how I'm going to say this, but oleanolic acid. All right, so oleanolic acid, basically 80% is a standardized natural extract from Olea europaea, olive leaves. So usually when us humans, we do like to extract things from natural elements, and we like to extract this acid from olive leaves, right? They basically contain 80% oleanolic acid. However, this mushroom, lion's mane, also contains it. And the extract has antioxidant, antimicrobial, and anti-inflammatory properties. It also has anti-aging effects with its ability to inhibit elastase, which helps to support skin elasticity. So it can be used as a skin or hair conditioning agent in creams, lotions, gels, and shampoos that maintain texture and integrity of skin and hair. So by consuming this mushroom, you're going to have the anti-aging properties of this specific beneficial acid, which is great for the aging process and just keeping you young and keeping your nerves young as well. Then obviously a lot of people already know potassium. You can get your potassium from bananas, but this mushroom in particular is rich in potassium, and it's one of the essential macro minerals. The human body requires at least 100 milligrams of potassium daily to support key processes. Now, some suggest that a high potassium intake reduces the risk of overall mortality by 20%, and it lowers or at least it decreases the risk of stroke, lowers the blood pressure, protects against loss of muscle mass as well, and preserves bone mineral density and reduces the formation of kidney stones. So kidney stones can be quite a problem for a lot of people out there, and this reduces the likelihood of you getting kidney stones, basically. So why not consume lion's mane as soon as possible? But the primary functions of potassium in the body include regulating fluid balance and controlling the electrical activity of the heart and other muscles. So there's a synergistic, symbiotic relationship between mushrooms and our cells, especially the right mushrooms that are healthy, and lion's mane happens to be one of the healthiest out there. So the three main benefits of lion's mane: number one, immune system. So, like I said, it contains antioxidants, antimicrobials, and anti-inflammatory markers. Mushrooms have this amazing way of protecting themselves against the same viruses that can infect us, because they can be infected with the same viruses. But they have, or at least they're much more effective in their defense against those viruses. And I think a major reason for that is because they work in a symbiotic fashion with each other in nature, and they're just more efficient nutrient transition and transformation and all that. So we can take a little bit of a leaf, even though they don't have leaves, out of their books. Maybe we can take a spore out of their book. And then we've got the digestive system. Partly this mushroom is great for the digestive system, and this could be due to the polysaccharides that provide for the gut flora, and also the fact that mushrooms in general are high in fiber just makes our body, or gives our body a break really from digesting things that are hard to digest, especially if you're eating a lot of meat. Meat is not the easiest thing for us to digest, and so you could consider maybe dropping the meat down to give yourself the best chance. But at the same time, if you are going to do that, make sure you're replacing meat with mushrooms. And then finally, what lion's mane is known for, from most people, what it's most known for is the benefits for the nervous system. So the mushroom protects vital cells from the NGF deprivation, which contributes to the cell death that I was talking about. So essentially what this mushroom does is it regenerates your neural tissue. And I know that Paul Stamets, for example, was giving it to his dog, and his dog was becoming smarter and he could understand more words. And so considering all of the neural adverse effects in today's society, I think that it's a great tool for all of us to help even our families, for example, that are suffering with Alzheimer's or are pre-exposed to the Alzheimer's disease. Well, this mushroom already has studies, which I'll share in the description if they're not shared already, on how this is great for Alzheimer's. And the amazing thing is, it's not the only mushroom that can protect people against Alzheimer's, and we have a bunch of other mushrooms, and I'll be sharing all about those mushrooms in the coming days. But where can you get this mushroom, right? So that's the real question, and what kind of quality is out there, and what to look for when you're ordering for yourself. Well, the first thing, if possible, if you can get wild grown, you can even pick them yourself. However, the problem with wild grown in today's climate is that their toxicity levels in the forests and just on land is very high. And so it's better if you can find protected land that has lower toxicity levels, because the mushrooms absorb all of those toxins because they need to process them, and they usually remediate the lands by doing that. So they're actually doing a good thing by absorbing them. But yes, look, if you want the best quality lion's mane, try to get wild grown on protected land if possible. If not, make sure it's USDA certified organic. Now, the thing about being USDA certified is that it can be bag grown in a sterile environment, or it can be wild grown. It doesn't matter, because both methods don't require pesticides. However, the reason why most companies will grow in sterile environments is because of the fact that I just mentioned, that it's not as safe to pick wild grown mushrooms anymore. However, there are some special companies out there that do grow their mushrooms on protected land, so that's fantastic. Then another thing to think about is, are they freeze dried and powdered, because that preserves the potency. Now, there's a great brand out there, and I don't want to drop names out there, but if you check out Fungi Perfecti, they've got a great lion's mane product that's freeze dried and powdered. But there's plenty of great brands popping up now, and the mushroom industry is really booming. And especially now, as we go through this coronavirus pandemic, I think lots of people are going to start considering their health more. Hopefully, at least. And then we've got something else to consider, which is the hot water extract. So the hot water extraction process maximizes its potency. You've also got ethanol extract of mushrooms, but I would always go for hot water extract over the ethanol extracted methods, personally. And you can do your research on that. There's plenty of research papers on this on PubMed. PubMed is the go-to for research, and that's it. That's lion's mane mushroom. And now let me see if I can stop sharing. I'm still getting used to this this streaming. I don't know. You probably can't see me now. I need to enable my camera. You can probably see me now. So get Facebook up and reply to some of your comments at the moment. Like I say, I'm new to this streaming, and I don't know how to actually comment on it. Okay, so Anita says, I heard it's good for the brain, i.e. brain fog and memory. Yes, it is. It is great for the brain and brain fog and memory. And it's not the only mushroom that is good for such. There's plenty more mushrooms that I'm going to speak about, but in general, lion's mane is known for its regenerative impact on the brain. And if I am to just read a little bit of an excerpt from an article, I can actually share this on my screen. Give me one moment. Here we go. So this is an article which I'll share in the description on lion's mane and Parkinson's disease. So I've shared this in the description, just these two paragraphs. But many studies have shown several benefits of consuming the mycelium alone. So the mycelium network would be the root network of the mushroom, and the mycelium network alone has benefits just from consuming that. Now, the great thing about the Fungi Perfecti product that I mentioned is that they include the mycelium within the fruiting body supplement. So not many companies choose to do that. A lot of companies choose to just put the fruiting body into the capsules, but the mycelium is quite beneficial too. So when the mushroom's enriched with that chemical that I was mentioning, the erinacine, right? They may be added additional benefits. So a study was published in 2018 by Lee et al. Showed that consumption of the mushroom after enrichment with erinacine promoted nerve regeneration and reduced cell death. So basically what the erinacine, I can't even say this word, erinacines promote NGF synthesis, which is important for maintaining neuronal cell health. Another important benefit of enriched Hericium erinaceus is that it has been shown to prevent dementia. A study of transgenic mice by Tseng et al., which I think I've referenced these studies in the description, showed a reduction in the brain plaque that eventually leads to dementia. A 2016 study confirmed the neuroprotective effects of the enriched mushroom. In 2017, Lee et al. Performed a different type of study with lion's mane mushroom. The researchers separated sterols and several compounds from the mushroom's fruiting body and put them through multiple tests. They found that the substances had the following effects: reduced oxidative stress, so that means anti-aging. So if you want to stay young for as long as possible, this is a good indication of something you should be consuming. It showed antioxidant effects and revealed anti-osteoporotic effects. So you can read this article yourselves. I'll link it to the description. And yeah, so this has been interesting. I've like I said, I haven't used this streaming service before, so I do my best to make. So you can read this article yourself. Oh, now I can hear myself back. Okay. Well, guys, I hope this was informative enough for you guys. Pretty straightforward what lion's mane is good for. Tomorrow, we will be diving into the mushroom called chaga. So tomorrow will be chaga. So today was Monday for lion's mane. Tomorrow will be chaga. Then we will do Wednesday. We'll go into turkey tail. Turkey tail has been fantastic for anti-cancerous activity. Then we'll dive into maitake, also known as hen of the woods. Then shiitake, which is a mushroom that is quite easily attainable, and it's the third most therapeutic mushroom. And then the second last mushroom we'll dive into is the cordyceps mushroom. It's a very interesting mushroom, second most therapeutic mushroom on the planet, great for the lungs. And finally, my favorite mushroom we will dive into on the last day, which is known as reishi, also known as Ganoderma lucidum. So this will be the first of a series. I was challenged to do this series as I challenged the counterparts in the Empowerment Mastermind that we're going to be doing every Sunday at 7:30. So we all challenged each other to do a 7-day live challenge and to speak about something we're passionate about. So there was 4 of us on the call. My friend Lloyd was challenged to do the mind. Elena, who was there, is going to do it all about the heart. And Emma chose freedom, and I chose mushrooms. So tune in. I'm gonna do this every day going forward at around 8 p.m. I was supposed to do it at 8 p.m. today, but I'm really trying to get used to this streaming service going forward, and yeah, hopefully to provide you with cool streams going forward and informative and educational and stuff like that. So guys, get yourself some lion's mane mushroom. There's all these mushrooms are attainable online. If you would like some reishi mushroom products, reach out to me. I can provide those for you. And if you have any questions, please feel free to comment. If you feel it was beneficial and somebody else needs to listen to this and watch the presentation, share the video and allow them to also read the studies if they're a scientific type of person. If they're not, get them to read the articles. They're a lot more easier to comprehend than the scientific studies. And yeah, guys, so thanks for watching. Now let me see if I can actually close up this stream.